Thank you very much, and welcome back to another on-location report from the Carson Valley Visitors Authority. Maybe a recognizable face here for a lot of folks up in Tahoe. Jan Vandermeide, the executive director here. You've been on the job 2 months, and you're getting your feet wet and getting on TV instantly. This is fun stuff.
Well, thank you very much for having me on today. I appreciate it.
Talk about some of the trends, some of the aha moments that you've been seeing in your first 2 months here as executive director.
Well, you know, one of the things that just really struck me is that this community is just outrageously beautiful. And what happens a lot of times is a lot of people drive through here. You can see the cars going by right now. A lot of people drive through here and they miss a lot because just being on Highway 395, they may not see all the unique things there are to see and do. So one thing that struck me is just a statement one of our people that sits in this community and is a key player said is, "Don't go through it, go to it."
So, I like that. That's a cool tagline for this area. And speaking of the area, talk about what the area, your scope, what you cover.
Yeah, so the Carson Valley Visitors Authority represents everywhere from Topaz Lake and the community there to Genoa Lakes on the other end here, as well as Minden and Gardnerville. So we actually represent 4 districts and all the lodging properties and attractions and things there are to see and do here in the valley.
And there are plenty of those. You've got some of the most pristine golf courses. I love all the golf courses around here, the mountain biking trails. I mean, this is really the best of all worlds here, and you don't have to shovel the snow quite as much.
That's right. You know, for a long time I've actually lived here. I've lived here for over 30 years and worked mostly up at Lake Tahoe, and great jobs around the lake, but it was time for change for me, and it was a great opportunity to represent this community, which has really started to show up on the map.
Right. So we'll talk about maybe one of the main differences you've noticed in working down here off the hill, right?
Well, when I was originally working in Lake Tahoe, it was referred to as Reno Tahoe. So everybody just thinks of Reno and Lake Tahoe, but the smaller communities are starting to make a mark, and people are desiring to branch out and see other areas. So Truckee, for example, has started to become much more popular with visitors and locals alike. And the same is true here in the Carson Valley. We just are starting to see much more. People are trying to get away from the standard experience and go try to something new and different, and that's what this place is all about.
You've got quite the office here. I walk in, I could just feel the history, the Museum for Cultural Center and a bookstore in there. Talk about this building a little bit.
Well, this building is over 100 years old, actually, so we're very fortunate to be here. We use this as base camp, but we're really organization that gets out and tries to promote tourism to the area. And I'd say, you asked me about an aha. The people here in this town are second to none in terms of just their passion, enthusiasm, the way they treat you. I went out for a walk one day, and every single person engaged and said hi, and they're just friendly and happy to be here. And so it's just, it truly is a special place. And back to the building, we use this as base camp, but we're out of here a lot and working in other locations and representing the area elsewhere.
Right. So we're going to be talking about some of the events they have here throughout the Carson Valley and where you can find them throughout the rest of this fall and summer. So thanks for joining us. We'll be back in about an hour with another on-location report here from the Carson Valley Visitors Authority. Sending it back to you in the studio.